Let's go to the wonderful Kurt Metzger. All right. Here he is, popping. Hey, Kurt, how you doing, man?
My camera sucks, doesn't it?
We just need a little more volume on you.
Just volume.
It's because I'm not talking into my podcast mic.
Oh, there you go. Well,
Yeah,
that's
like
it looks like
a nice butt plug.
a miniature oldie-timey microphone or
What
something
is a
like.
weird delay?
Is there a delay?
Here, wait, say something just so I can see if you're.
All right, I just did that. I did that on purpose.
Well, my screen's doing it. It's throwing me off. How do I make me not the biggest thing on here?
Oh, you are
God damn it.
you are the most giantest thing on our screen because you're the guest. That's how
And
we roll.
you're
That's
also
how we roll.
seeing our
Now
program.
you're the picture behind us view. There you go.
right.
You could leave it
But my
like
camera
that
sucks on this computer.
if you want. You could leave it like that. That's fine. It's like a little painting, a moving painting of Kurt
A
Metzger.
mask of like a digital mask of a handsomer man on me.
Right. Yeah, it's all. Yeah, we'll use some deep fakes.
Yeah, just fake a better face, I guess, is what I'm asking you to do.
Do that. Do you know Dave Landau, my co-host?
We've not met. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man? But I feel like I know who you are, though. Why?
I know your name from around. We have a lot of mutual friends, obviously.
He's a
But
comic.
yeah, I'm a stand-up.
Oh, okay.
We might have met, actually, now that I think about it, at Joey's in Livonia once.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, we
Is
did
that
meet,
when
actually.
Bridezilla's was there?
When who?
When last time I was there, Bridezilla's, the show was there.
Oh God.
Oh, God, yeah, I think it
And they
was.
asked
Yeah.
And the Bridezilla fucked the show completely.
Oh, completely, yeah. Yeah, that place was notorious for having groups of complete shitheads show up and ruin everybody's good time.
I just signed a contract that said I wouldn't say the word cunt.
Yeah.
But who was it? Jimmy Dore?
Jimmy
Who
Dore.
wasn't Jimmy
Yeah.
Dore had called someone a cunt the week before.
He went off on this. It was like a cunt marathon for 20 minutes, and basically the entire audience left without paying because he had a meltdown on this woman with the word cunt.
He basically named every cunt in that audience.
Yeah. Every cunt got offended.
Did you adhere to the rule?
Well, so I signed this contract that says I won't call people a cunt. And so I brought the contract out, and I would go to the crowd, and I'm like, "Yeah, I swear to God, somebody said this word, and I had to sign this contract." And I would make them read the contract. I can't see what that said. Will you please read that? I wrote the cunt.
Yeah, that's a hell of a contract to have to sign. Wow.
It was so weird.
That must have been, especially Livonia is some fucking small shit. You know, Eminem 2 towns over was the biggest thing that ever happened
Yes.
there. So like, I mean, what, the whole club walking out while the guy just says cunt over and over? That must blow your fucking mind as the owner of a shitty club. And then you got to have some like, fake business meeting. Okay, how can we prevent this in the future?
Yeah.
We need a contract.
Well, and the whole place was just ran by degenerates. It was, I liked them too, but the Belasca brothers, they were just guys who did a bunch of blow. They would shut everything down.
That's who ran it?
Yeah, they used to,
They're
the
called the
kicker.
what?
Yeah, the one kicker for the Miami Dolphins at one point.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought that
Fuck
was
the Velasca brothers.
I thought that was another club. I thought that was like Joey's.
That
Tommy
was
Cat,
no, that was the one that they took over after they lost Livonia. They were doing the one. Fuck, what was it called, man? Wise Guys.
Oh my God! If you name your club Wise Guys, fuck you.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when
Shut up.
You're a cunt.
you go to get
called
paid,
something
there'd be like
brothers.
a pile of blow, and you're like, all right. It wasn't
Dude,
like the
only
80s.
if something's made by brothers, the only way Super Mario Brothers is the only innocent sounding
Yes.
brothers company.
Yeah.
Fucking Belasco.
You're right.
Brothers.
Everything else sounds mobbed up.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
it's
that's why-
Italian.
And ironically, the Mario Brothers are the only non-mobby sounding.
Yeah.
They really are just plumbers.
Yeah. They're just trying to make a living and save women.
Did you see? God, it's so weird the delay. It looks
Nah,
like
I'm sorry about that, man.
Oh, it's all right.
I hate that. It's like you're in outer space or something.
I just watched this thing about You know that game, The Last of Us? Do you still play any of those games like PS4?
I didn't play The Last of Us. I played Modern Warfare, Warzone, Blackout, Call of Duty. All
Like shooters.
those shooters for the most part. I've gotten into other ones, but for the most part, it's the shooters. Yeah.
No, I only want to play violence.
Yeah. I could do other things in real life, but I can't murder people with amazing weaponry. So if I want to play
that's
video
the whole appeal of video games since for over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
So, but The Last of Us was brutal. Like it was awesome, and the story was awesome. It was like one of those your girlfriend watches it games.
My girlfriend played it. I was watching her playing that game because she liked it. So, and it did
It's a
look.
good story, right?
It was the father and the daughter, right? And
No, it's not really his daughter.
oh,
It
is
was
that?
awesome. It was like he was escorting this girl who was the cure for something. I'm spoiling it. Fuck you if you didn't find out.
Well,
Fucking
two just
spoiled.
the sequel just came out, right?
No,
Or-
not yet.
Oh,
but
it's
the sequel,
delayed.
dude.
Oh, it was leaked. That's right.
Right, because that company, and by the way, that first game was like, I remember being like, because the end was so fucking cool, dude. It was one of the best
amazing.
endings.
It was amazing. Sorry
Oh,
to
Drew
chime
played
in.
Like
it.
she's not his
Okay.
daughter. This Ellen Page ripoff.
Right.
Well, I think it was awesome.
Yeah.
So young Juno here, when who is not Ellen Page, he's supposed to escort her across country, and it turns out that they're just going to use like a killer and use her as a cure for this fucking fungus zombie plague, right? So this guy Joel, who doesn't really like her, she becomes like a daughter figure, and then he fucking massacres the whole people trying to come up with the cure. He goes in and massacres the whole base just to get her out, and then lies to her because she probably would have said, "Hey, kill me and make a cure." But he just now he has a daughter, so he's like, "I'd rather mankind fucking die a zombie than." It was just awesome. It was awesome how they set it up. So the new one for the fucking leaks, I didn't know what the leaks were. I just kept hearing about the leaks, but they fucking make you a bodybuilder, like genderqueer chick.
Yeah, I heard.
And then you got to beat the Joel from the first game. You have to do it. Like they make you the player. You have to beat him to death with a golf club.
With like a jacked lesbian.
Yeah, and then you kill the lipstick lesbian daughter, Ellie, after. That's what got leaked.
Wow.
And by the way, that probably could have been the game's brutal. So I could see the story reasons for that. But why you pick some fucking Tignataro motherfucker as the cat? Like, why would anyone want to play as that?
Right. Yeah.
They're not happy being that. Why would they be dressing up like a dude if they were comfortable with their fucking, I'm not dressing up like a chick dressed like a dude.
Dude, the fucking way they have woke video games is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to, about a year or so ago, I was looking forward to, in the Battlefield series, there was Battlefield 5, and it was the World War II version. I love Battlefield 1, which was
the fucking
the World War
French
I
cyborg woman.
Dude, it's World War II. We're talking the early 40s, late 30s, early 40s, and there's this woman with this fucking looks like carbon fiber fucking mechanical
Hold on. You
arm.
don't acknowledge the contributions of steampunk women in
Yeah,
World War II?
steampunk shit. And it's like, this takes you right out of it. And again, the thing I said, why would anyone that plays games want to play as that character? They had to add in.
to alienate you from playing as the character. Like,
Yeah.
This is all, by the way, keep in mind, this is pre-COVID-19.
Oh, well, I am talking pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID
days. Yeah.
Like, nobody, dude, like, all that nonsense. Oh, I just did Rogan. I was showing him that comic, The New Warriors. You've seen that, right?
No.
Oh, God.
I'm not a comic book guy. But
Yeah.
if I want to make fun of woke bullshit in something.
I saw that one where
I
they're all
couldn't do better
bowing
than
to
this
the
real
medical
thing.
staff.
What'd you say?
Oh God.
All the superheroes bowing to the medical people. Is that what you're talking about?
No,
Or
I mean,
you mean
that's
Warriors
not
like
even
the 80s
top
gang?
10 of something cringy. Dude, can you find New War? You haven't seen the New Warriors?
No,
I guess Drew has it.
You mean like the Warriors street game,
This
right?
is hilarious because I guess I'd be what you call a normie when it comes to this kind of shit. I'm not like that versed, but looking at it, if I was making a joke about woke bullshit, I could not do better
That would be it.
than this.
Okay,
dude.
here we go. You got
This is
volume
the
on?
guy that wrote it too.
All right, here it is.
My name is Daniel Kibblesmith.
Oh, of course.
Writer of
By the way, he was apparently on the Millionaire Matchmaker at some point.
Was he? How'd it go?
Yeah, I don't know. People dug into him.
I guess not.
And, yeah. So okay. Look at what the news.
All right, let's. Yeah,
Gotta
could you
see
roll,
this.
could you roll that, Drew?
Not heard it yet.
Oh, it was a fake one.
Oh,
He got the real one.
Is
though.
It's Marvel?
there's no point in faking it. It's already like.
It's already ridiculous.
horrible.
It doesn't need to be parodied. Yeah, I think that's everything now, by the way. But
Oh, it was already becoming
They're
a
trying
parody.
to solely troll people that would hate that. Like, and that's a luxury that you have before the economy fucking fucks up.
Oh,
Yeah,
So now
yeah,
they're gonna
yeah.
Start making shit people actually want. You don't get to indulge. It's basically like the subverted expectations of Trump won.
right.
Everything is now the revenge. Oh, you thought you'd have a Star Wars you liked. Well, I'm going to subvert that.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's the revenge that's been going. So this is like the culmination of it. I feel like. For
Well, it's
like,
all changed. You have people show up and they're like, I want a COVID bed for gender reassignment surgery. And it's like, oh, we're not doing make believe anymore. There's actually sick people here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like dude, or it's just like it's not a priority.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Compared
Oh,
to-
people will tell you
so
different.
that shows you how good the economy's been. That people were there was even time. I'm not talking about somebody's rights to be a human being or anything like
Of course.
that. I'm just talking about where we imagine like our most precious resource for fuel is your fucking feelings, and like that's the most precious thing we have is that's a zombie plague kind of cures that problem.
Yeah. I really do hope we see just an amazing change in that attitude, and we realize how fucking awesome we all had it, because that's what we seem to believe was
We
important.
had it so good we were inventing problems. There's no way that people can't see that now.
Inventing problems. That's
Oh, dude, I love, by the way, the fucking with Biden, the stupid. I don't know. Apparently, he fingered an intern 30 years
Tara
ago.
Reid.
He
And then
diddled
said,
another girl named Tara Reid.
Yeah, a different Tara Reid.
He fingered a different terror.
Yeah.
That should be his apology. Because I thought you were the other terrorist.
Yeah, I thought you were the Josie and the Pussycats, Tara Reid.
My mistake.
I
I
made
can
an
get you
error.
a toe. How about
But
a
dude,
finger?
the fucking with the bullshit that they made about Kavanaugh. And by the way, in defense of Biden, I don't know that it's certainly more reliable than the Kavanaugh shit.
Yeah,
But it's
I mean,
still
there
not-
seems
not
to be
enough.
corroboration. There seems to be. I mean, when you have Larry King getting a phone call back in the 90s, right after this happened, from the girl's mother saying, my daughter worked for a senator and it was she had to
right.
leave. There was no one to tell. She tried to tell and people just shoved her away. And it was her. It's like, yeah, that's my mom calling Larry King. And CNN's response is to remove the video from its
right.
servers. That tells you right there that it's all fucking like biased bullshit.
well, and one
Well,
was
the
silencing.
whole point of it, because it shouldn't be the end of. I mean, by the way, it's not enough to go on. But they said we gotta just take whatever thing comes along. You just
Hey, believe
So
all
now with,
women.
Sniffy Joe over here, it's going to happen, and you got to act. By the way, I don't think his brain is even together enough to
No.
remember any of it anyway.
No.
Yeah, he could probably
yeah.
pass a lie detector, but you could probably ask him a lot
He
of
probably
shit.
thought he was
wouldn't know.
bowling.
Yeah,
Dude, how the fuck does anyone, like Hillary Clinton yesterday came out and endorsed Joe Biden? How do they do that
How does
knowing?
she do it? She's endorsed worse.
Yeah, true.
So she can step
But how
down.
does
Yeah,
anyone
she
do that without going, oh my God, I look like an idiot, because we all see this guy's losing his fucking mind. And I have to
Oh,
I
she
have to
probably-
endorse
dude.
this guy?
She probably looks at it the way I look at the Louis CK allegations. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, who cares?
I don't give a shit.
I think Louis playing a fucking venue is a little less important than the president of the United States
There's
having
been
Alzheimer's.
more support to ruin Louis forever than to even inconvenience. The New York Times acted like they caught a serial rapist with Louis,
Yeah.
with the harrowing story of asking someone to do a no contact thing in a fucking, are you shitting me? But that was, oh my God. You
Worst
can't
thing
even
ever.
ask for that.
Yeah.
Women are thinking about their guitar comedy careers. You don't distract them.
I hate the fact that everybody just jumped on that ability to be liked bandwagon, and that's
And now
what
we
comedy
lost
became.
two incredible female guitar comment. I'm sorry, they share one guitar, I guess.
Yes.
Dude, if I
But
see
we lost a great female
One more-
guitar duo. that
one
we
more
would've had.
fucking girl comic with a ukulele singing
If you- all right,
singing
I gotta
cute
tell you-
songs about their cunt.
Okay, listen, I have to be honest with you. I was engaged with this girl. An ex of mine is a ukulele comic who sings songs about her cunt. I shit you not.
I don't doubt it, because that's all they fucking do now.
Fucking,
It's terrible, and I hate it. Oh, you didn't see that coming.
Like,
Singing
it's
cutesy
worse.
songs.
It's better to not play an instrument than to play a ukulele.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in comedy, it's just better to not play the instrument. Anything.
Or, as I would tell her, like, drop an instrument. Like, she couldn't get rid of a guitar. She had to get smaller and smaller guitars, and she can't quite get away from holding a thing that's a distraction from your actual thing.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, you got that thing? I want to see this.
Yeah, I do.
This fucking Warriors thing.
I thought this was the fake or whatever, but
Yeah.
I guess
No, it's not.
real thing.
You
Oh,
were
it wasn't.
tricked.
He thought it was fake, and it's not.
No,
Oh, like
I'm
somebody
telling
just
you, you
talking
can't
over
make
it.
fun of it better than.
And I am the writer of
Look at
New
this guy.
Warriors #1. I got interested in the New Warriors later. I remember seeing them on the shelf when I was a kid, picking up comics in the 90s, and just feeling like they were too cool for me. Like, I was intimidated by, Night Thrasher with
course you were.
a blade coming out of his wrist. Nova was really buff. They were all the edgy characters for the 90s, as the cover said. New Warriors, I thought, were really interesting characters because they occupy this really cool space. They're forever young, but they've now been around
This
for
is the old
30
ones.
years.
Wait, what did you
My
say?
editors on the previous books I'd done, like Loki and Black Panther versus Deadpool, asked if I would be interested in doing a New Warriors tie-in that actually poses them as the authority figures in this conflict.
Oh, no.
Save it.
Really liked
Not
the
yet.
tension
Not
of
yet.
that.
Wait till you see what it is.
Because
This
the
is the normal
New
shit.
Warriors are the authority figures in this story, they have to be mentoring new Warriors who are under 21 and subject to the laws that triggered the Outlawed event. This new law is making it illegal to be a vigilante under the age of 21. The artist on New Warriors #1 is Luciano Vecchio. He designed all of the new Warriors and gave them costumes that felt as modern as the New Warriors costumes.
Are
So
you
classic and
shitting
instantly
me?
Familiar.
Well, let him describe
So
the
the
hero.
first character that we're introduced to is Trailblazer. She's a group home and foster kid who is volunteering at a senior center when this mysterious threat shows up and Night Thrasher runs to the rescue. And because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of this new outlawed law. And she inherited from her grandfather a magic backpack of divine origin. We picked the name Trailblazer because she's somebody who charges into action. She knows that she can do some good.
She's
with
the
this,
head of the line. The fat
mysterious
one's the one
gift
running
that
ahead
she
of
The
Yeah.
fat one is charging in
Screen time
action.
is a internet
Monique's her
kid
mom,
taken
hits her with a
sort of
pan.
logical conclusion. As a youth, he was exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet gas, and that has patched him permanently into the World Wide Web. The word screen time is only ever used in a sort of restrictive sense. And because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a
Was
lot
someone
of the
sexually
names
assaulted or
are
abused?
about teens fighting against labels.
You mean that
This
guy
is-
and
this is how
continues
it's
to do
always
to
online.
others?
Time we liked the idea that he has infinite screen time. Snowflake and Safe Space are the twins.
Oh, no.
And their names are very similar to screen time. It's this idea that these are terms that get thrown around on the internet that they don't see as derogatory, to take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. Safe Space is kind of a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. He can create force fields, but
With a
he can
wedgie.
only
Stereotypical
if he's
jock. Where'd you go to
protecting somebody
school?
else. Snowflake is non-binary.
To the point of camp?
and goes by they, them.
Non-binary.
Snowflake
Snowflake's
has the
non-binary.
power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens. The connotations of the word snowflake in our culture right now are something fragile.
It's you.
And this is a character who is turning it into something sharp. Snowflake is the person who has the more offensive power, and Safe Space is the person who has the more defensive power. The idea was that they would mirror each other and complement each other.
They're brother and sister.
E
by the way.
Negative is the goth kid. When he was a baby,
cool.
he got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion, we assume from Michael Morbius. And now he has a very similar look and very similar vampire powers. B negative also is obviously a pun. It's a blood type, which is
thanks. That's
hilarious.
funny.
and it's also a proud ownership of the idea of having a bad attitude. I want the people who read our New Warriors to feel all of the excitement that they felt if they read the 90s one We want it to have big, colorful characters, personality clashes, romance, a diverse cast, which is something that the New Warriors titles have always strived to make a priority. Every New Warriors comic has always felt like a reflection of the year that it came out. And I don't think we're worried about being dated. I think we're way more interested about it being now.
Wow.
So speaking of now, that was just before quarantine.
Yeah.
That's
What
the
can
last
they
thing
be
put out.
defeated by? Like self-esteem and fucking fentanyl?
Yeah, self-esteem is their kryptonite.
Wait, what?
What the fuck
So
is...
what that is, dude, what that is this has been Marvel. You know, I haven't read comics for like since I was a teenager. So I wasn't aware. There's been this push to take them away from the nerds, who you're supposed to hate now.
Yeah.
You know, like they're all whoever liked the old thing. They're just like these incels, the most privileged people of all.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Nerds
Yeah.
who can't get laid, and they need to be knocked down a peg. So we're taking everything they liked about comics, and all the women are going to be uglied up until they're men,
Right.
and then all the men are going to be, and this is for boys because it's not a thing of. This is like actual fucking feminist horseshit theory. Got the people into this shit. They're all about planting their flag.
Right. Yeah. It's
It's
some
not about
kind of
money.
brainwashing
It's not
to
about making money.
fem up the guys and
Right.
butch up the girls and
That's
get rid
on
of any
purpose.
toxic masculinity. So you can't see a guy come swooping in and belt someone in the face.
There's not a guy in it.
Yeah, there's not even a man in that fucking, except
You're
for the
right.
jock.
So, dude, it's crazy. So now all the new things, it's always a female does all that,
Right.
and then the man is like, you know, like I said, I'm not a kid, so I'm not looking at this shit like that. And then when you look at it, like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to Gavin about that. Gavin McInnes. We were talking about how they fucking have taken these women. Women watch these movies where it's like, you know, John Wick, only female, you know, kind of a Joan Wick thing.
well, Joe, you know, that was always popular. This is the thing that's weird is in video games since I was a kid, there's never been an anti-female. Like, I won't play as a female in a game. I won't.
I
honestly
just
God,
won't do
play.
it. I agree.
But I take that back, with few exceptions, such as the first Last of Us, Ripley from Aliens. I would play as Ripley.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, I would say Sigourney Weaver gets props for being like a female protagonist that is done right, that got the props of a male action hero.
Right. And that was
Oh.
fucking
She was-
1979 or whatever the fuck
And she
it
was
was.
still able to be hot in a bunch of other movies like Ghostbusters.
And she was hot in those Kmart period panties
Yes. yes.
Yeah.
with a full of beaver.
Yes.
Yeah, with a big muff.
Dude, she was like she got in that fucking thing with her blue collar muff and everybody.
Yeah, she's just working
She's
on a
like-
freighter.
She's like a you know, some kind of elegant breeding woman back in the
Yeah.
She wasn't blue collar. She pulled it off.
You didn't fucking shave your pussy to work on the Nostromo. You fucking had a.
She's a space miner. She don't have time
Yeah,
for that.
you're a space trucker, motherfucker. You didn't do.
Maybe if I'm maybe this space trucker, she got time to do one thing. So that's an example of it being awesome. But what's happened is the new generational thing is all these like they're working from propaganda first backwards.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Or
got
like,
that. That's what they do. They come up with the message that they want to get across, their woke message, and then they build a story or a video game or a movie around that fucking
right.
ideology.
And you don't, by the way, you don't have to do that. You could just make the story you want, and subconsciously your feelings are going to come out in the story in some way. It
Yeah.
could be a thing you don't agree with or do agree with, but that's why you don't ever need to add it in, because it's just going to be there by virtue of you sincerely trying to make a story.
Oh, there's one video game where I do play. It's the new Half-Life Alyx that came out, the VR version.
Yeah, I would play that.
I played it and it's fucking amazing. And the
Yeah.
thing is, though, you're not. It doesn't matter if you're playing a female character because you don't see it. You all you see are your
how an
gloved
art
hands.
that's how you make good art. That's how art
Yeah.
is to, for me, is the guy's like, I won't play as a female, to not even think about it. That's
Yeah.
achieving something.
Dude, when I'm
opposite
playing,
now-
I'm playing Battlefield 1, which is supposed to be in World War I. This is fucking World War I. And you're shooting and you hear like, oh, You hear these girl screams happening from women getting shot on the battlefield in World War One.
Wow, no kidding. I haven't played it.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, it's been out for a couple of years now.
No, well, Battlefield 5 or Battlefield 1?
Battlefield 1 was World War One.
Oh.
Battlefield 5, for some reason, was World War II. And that wasn't as good. And like I said, the wokeness that came out of that.
It's because, dude, nobody had a problem with a female character. It's the fact that they market it, is all the marketing where they go, look at, you're going to hate this fucking.
Yeah.
Why are you attacking me? People never had a problem with it in the first place. You just made up this straw man and then attacked him with the thing. For what reason?
Right.
It's
Why?
literally, that New Warriors is for somebody was into any of these comic characters to say, fuck you. This belongs to our thing now.
And like you said,
hate it?
It's like this, I don't care about being dated. This is for now. And it's like, no, it was for last month because it is dated now.
When he said it, he meant that now has just passed. But at the moment that he said it,
that's hilarious. He thought like, the whole woke thing, it's going to be great. It's still got some legs. And literally.
Who the fuck would think that, dude? Well,
no one would. Like,
can you name one time, I'm asking genuinely because maybe I just don't know history, that you ever heard of any kind of censorship or stop this art now movement that they were right? And everyone was like, that was great that they did that.
No.
Never. All these right side history people, when historically have you been right to stifle anything?
Yeah. That is a very good point because you don't even have to just think and go, maybe you just know it isn't. There have been instances where they try to stifle art and it turns into, at the best case, it turns into you were wrong. At the worst case, it turns into people goose stepping across Europe.
Well, and you can't be on the right side of history. History is history. Even the notion of that makes absolutely zero sense.
That's like heaven for secular people.
Now, like as a father,
version of heaven. Where do I go after I die? The good part of history.
Yes,
they just have to make up their own version. Seriously, that's the reward.
Yeah.
No, I have a son who is into Marvel and stuff, all that stuff. There's no way he would be even remotely attracted to this comic whatsoever. It just seems like this defense that they put out
It
that
was
they know
on
is going to be a
purpose to
failure.
push him away. They made it on purpose to tell him you're not welcome here.
Exactly.
This isn't your space.
And that's what I think is disgusting. And they also try to do it though while still promoting the other side. That's the thing that bothers me. It's not like they stopped making masculine comics. They just now have this to make it seem like they're not. It's all bullshit.
There's a lot of toxic masculinity in comics. It's just it all comes out of women now for some reason.
Right.
I don't get that
well
at all.
said. That's
For
very
some
true.
reason, the women are afflicted the most with toxic masculinity.
It's
I don't know why.
Really.
Yeah. What's great is you watch the movies and you see women just kicking ass and comic books, video games, whatever it is, and then you'll watch a YouTube video of some woman getting in some guy's face and him just decking her, and it's like, well, there's the horrible reality of it. You don't have a fucking chance.
I'll suspend. I mean, within reason, I'll suspend that disbelief. Like, the Harley
of
Quinn
course.
thing, I'm like, I don't see what her powers are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's a dumb, psychotic slut. That, like, she's not anything good to emulate. And she's not, So, fucking Ryan Reynolds can't beat people up either. And Bruce Lee had the fucking build of a very strong woman. Right?
Which I love that Tarantino ripped on for.
A lot of these women, I could just believe they have the build of a really fit Chinese man. Okay? That's fine. What I don't like is the thing of acting like, what do you think of that? Like, I've been seeing this forever. Why are you acting like this is a new thing?
Yeah.
Because
What do you think of that, guys? Huh? It's like,
so, but really, all this shit is just to ruin things for like a fan base.
Yeah,
and call them names for not liking it.
And I really don't see the upside of it. I mean, why would you want to chase away a fan?
Territory. It's like gang territory. Like this is our flag, and now this thing. That's what all that Star Wars shit.
Yeah,
I mean it's crazy. Like I don't know. I know what's the one everybody hates. It's very
Phantom Menace.
Well, no, was it Phantom Menace?
Old. People yearn for that now since
I know. They yearn for the shitty fucking sequel, the original trilogy sequel.
Because that chick didn't hold shit together like she's supposed to. She's some glorified she's a background dancer. Did you know that? That's where Kathleen Kennedy came from.
The woman who was in the last Star Wars. Who
Oh,
played
oh,
the
okay.
Kathleen
Jedi.
Kennedy is the one in charge of Lucasfilm. That, by the way, George Lucas picked. That's how good his judgment is.
Yeah. So, yeah, she doesn't have any idea what the Star Wars universe was supposed to be, I guess.
She's like a producer. She got started. She's friends with them. She was a background dancer in Temple of Doom in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
You know, the nightclub was. Is that
Right.
way
Yeah,
up.
I can forget that. Anything goes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And so that's who she was. I don't know if she sucked some dicks or whatever she did, or they just took a shine to her. But she got producer credits. I've had producer credits. I really don't know what a producer does. I think I'm in the fucking producers guild.
And who knows
I don't
what a
even
producer
know what
does?
they do.
Yeah.
So she got that. So she bided her time, and then Lucas left her because they all trusted her. But the thing is, she doesn't have any love of this franchise. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So she's like, oh, in the most corporate possible way, what are my goals? I want to make some money and then do a little good with some whatever third wave feminist horse shit.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And
So
that's
then
what
they
came out.
Dude, Last Jedi, that could have been awesome, dude, if at the end they let Luke Skywalker do some crazy over the top badass thing and then killed him. It
Yeah.
would have been okay. Even all the shit people get mad about, if they had him in person show up, I promise it would have been okay. But that guy Ryan Johnson, he's like, who's the Buffy the Vampire Slayer guy? He's like,
Oh,
Ryan
yeah,
Johnson
yeah.
is like if Joss Whedon didn't crush pussy, he would be Ryan Johnson. So Joss Whedon popularized that female protagonist that they're all copying now. And everybody liked it when Joss Whedon did it, but he was making a girl that he wanted to fuck.
Oh,
Like,
my God. That
he
is
was.
right. Yeah,
That's true,
Buffy
yeah.
was a girl he wanted to fuck.
She was a cheerleader.
And in
Yeah.
real life, he was fucking all of them. The guy fucking knew how to do it. Ryan Johnson's like that guy, but like who doesn't get laid. Like he stays in the friend zone, working the same.
Is that the guy we just saw in the beginning of the New Warriors video?
I mean, it might as well be. It's all
I
the
know, I was
same.
gonna say,
Same
like,
generic
No, the guy in the New Warriors,
bi-spectacled
it's funny.
soy.
That guy had my hairline and beard. I just didn't have the glasses. So
You're not quite the soy looking.
no, the guy looked like he was living on soup from low T cells.
you should see his wife, dude. I just looked him up because he basically his claim to fame was he was a writer for Colbert, the current Colbert,
Right.
and he made a Santa Claus and his gay black husband book for Christmas, which was like to troll. Whenever that thing about Santa is a man and he's white, whatever that dumb controversy,
Yeah.
he wrote this book as a
Attack
troll, like to
Christians.
be like, yeah, well, Santa's got a gay black husband, which that's just what he does.
It's
So they
antagonize
asked him-
people. Right.
the people at Marvel were like, you know what? These people that don't like what we're doing, they're really going to hate this. I want you to make it the most now, 2020.
Yeah. Because it's so over the top. It can't be something
It
that
can't
someone
be
really
wrong.
came up with
I'm like,
thinking
you
it's a good
invested me.
idea. This is
Yeah.
a him sitting in a room, maybe a couple other people going, no, it has to be even more anger-inducing to the fans.
Dude,
But you're
when-
doing
what-
something
it-
you're allowed to do. There's no.
You know what it
it's
reminded me
safe.
of? When I was working on that Sasha Cohen show and he had his libtard character. You know,
Right.
like the reptard and the libtard. So the libtard I used to love writing shit for. And it was that. I would try to think of what's the most upsetting. Like he had a conversation with these Southern people about his wife cheated on him with a dolphin named Darwin.
Yeah.
And like how he caught on to it. And like we would just come up with the most how he makes his daughter stand up to pee and his son sit down to pee. And they both don't like it, but we have compliance cameras in the bathroom to watch them.
Compliance cameras. Yeah.
And he would just say this, and then people are like horrified. And so it's the same thing, but we were just doing that as a joke, and they're
Of
doing
course.
it as a thing because all supposedly this demographic in their head is this angry incel who with like Pepe the Frog or some shit.
Right. Yeah.
Like just telling
They got
they made
pissed
a
at
clip
Pepe.
of this on Rogan, but like the liberals don't get that these people hate them more than they hate any right winger. They don't get it. I still know a whole bunch of people that are like, I'm like, dude, you know me a long time. I'm like a New York fucking Gen X liberal type. That's more hated by them than anything you've ever said or whatever. Like
Amazing.
because somebody they think is right wing, they like that. That keeps a good split between them and us.
Right.
But a liberal is like, it's like Jesus Christ when he says you're lukewarm, so I spit you out. I wish you were hot or cold. that's their religious thing. Like you're lukewarm, so they spit you out. And all these liberals don't get it. They think we'll get Biden in, and it's gonna feel like Obama times or some shit, and then they're all gonna settle down. All those snowflakes and safe spaces. No, they're not.
Yeah.
And by the way, they turned on this guy when that came out. So not only were a bunch of people like, "What the fuck is this?" Most people just laughing. The people who are non-binary, who were that they were trying to simultaneously cater to, all were horribly offended. And why wouldn't they be?
Well, they have no other emotion. What did they expect them to do?
I get, because that's so clearly a guy using your little thing that's so precious to you.
Right, you're being used.
Yeah. And so eventually they catch, just like the Christians eventually caught on with George W. Bush, like people, the groups catch on eventually that you're pandering to, and they turn.
Right, you're pandering to them, you're talking down to them, and you're literally using them to anger someone, which means you have to even have something in you that makes you realize there's something fucked up about that. Like you think they're fucked up. If you know you could throw them at a group of people and make them angry, then you have to be cognizant that there's something fucked up with the way they live their lives or something. That's why a lot of the most racist people are liberals, because they,
it's not liberals. It's like these left. I know. It's
right. It's whatever you
teaches
want to call them now.
Yeah, but liberal.
Well, that's the irony, is when you hear about unconscious bias and shit, which I always said was bullshit. It kind of is addressing a real thing about a certain type of rich liberal, which is they are fucking racist. They just don't want to appear racist.
Yeah.
So they're self-made experts in like seeming not racist through being disingenuous and all the fucking bullshit they do. And then their efforts to not be racist they look worse than just saying fucking.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, a prime example is the voter ID is hilarious, that they go around and they're preaching to everyone, hey, black people just can't get IDs. They don't know how to do it. They don't
accept that. Yeah.
And
the thing.
They don't believe that, or maybe they do, but they just think that the people on the right go, yeah, they can't do that. And they're going to agree to it or say good.
They racially, they go, black people can't, and they're not going to get it together. Maybe the future generation with the liberal shit I'm doing now, they will have it together. That's how they think about it. But the ID thing could have easily been solved. It's like, okay, you have to have an ID. How about you state just gives you a fucking ID, and then that gets around the problem of like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't even have $5. Just give people an ID.
Yeah, give people the ID. There, now you all have an ID.
But that's all. Both of these sides would do shit to suppress the other side's voters.
It's all
and get there. So the Democrats are like, we're gonna have undocumented voting or whatever the fuck they want, right?
Yeah.
And then the right wingers are like, we got to stop these blacks in certain places from voting. Just the same as the Kavanaugh thing in Biden. They don't care about the actual thing ever.
No. It's never about.
Team.
It's never about the actual thing ever.
Yeah. The voter ID, that's less gross to do that than how they do with rape now.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking worse.
Oh yeah, this was the symbol of fucking 2019.
Yeah.
Just how brave she was to come forward with a story from the early 80s.
Harrowing story of how she was not sexually assaulted one time.
That's how a guy tried to touch her tit at a pool party in the 80s.
And there were demonstrations where women were walking around with signs that said Kavanaugh's a rapist. And you don't see anybody walking around with a Biden's a rapist fucking sign.
And it was sexual misconduct. It wasn't even rape.
Right.
It wasn't even anything. It was a one-sided story that wouldn't
nothing.
count. There's not a court. There's not a thing that would ever that would fly, because it's not really enough to go on.
Right.
And there's no corroborating anything other than somebody cried live on TV. That's all it takes for you. So that's fucked. But the bottom line was, and that's a good one, because I've talked to people that are like, I would always call myself liberal, but I'm just not loyal to a team. Like, I got a principle, I think, and so I'll go with whoever's serving.
Yeah,
that's how I am. You shouldn't just agree with somebody.
And a lot of people are like that, dude.
Oh,
so people are getting sick of this. That the Kavanaugh thing, I would ask people like, okay, you're just afraid he's going to vote against abortion. That's all this is about. So say that, but are you falling for your own drama?
Yeah, you can't possibly believe that this is a viable case that can be brought against this guy with evidence and due process. You can't possibly believe that. You just don't want him in there, and you're grabbing at straws.
We just got to keep Trump's pick out.
Right.
And by the way, he didn't vote against abortion. that was a guy you shouldn't have done that to, because he was probably going to vote very reasonably about a lot of things.
No, and then they
It's just
just
Trump
voted
picked
not to even look at some New York gun regulations that people wanted a little relaxation on some of New York's gun laws. And the Supreme Court.
What were the regulations?
They were in New York City being able to take your gun out of the city of New York. You're not allowed to do that now. If you have a permit to own a gun in your own home in New York City, you can go to and from a shooting range in the city, in the 5 boroughs. You're not allowed to go to Jersey or even Long Island or anywhere else.
Doesn't Jersey's law take over when you cross the border? Why would they be allowed to?
Even New York. Well, in Jersey, I don't think they have any reciprocity with gun licenses between New York and New Jersey. But yeah, so you'd probably be able to get fucked by New Jersey and New York City if you took it over the state line. But they're saying they don't even want you taking a gun out of New York City, which is kind of strange. But that's the law, and the Supreme Court, which is loaded now, not loaded, but it's a weighted Republican and right-wing, conservative, whatever, decided not even to hear it. They were just like, nah, we're not even going to hear this case.
Can you carry in New York, or doesn't it have to be locked up?
You need an insane license to carry in New York City.
Okay.
Don't you have to buy a gun, or you lose the ability to buy a gun? Like
one in a million people would get a license in New York City. And a lot of the licensing in New York City is very restrictive. Only in your house, only from your house to the range. It's got to literally be locked up in a box separate from the ammunition and magazine when you're just taking it from your apartment to the shooting range. Like you can't, they don't even want you to have the ability to have it on your way to the shooting range.
It has to be in like the trunk, right? Like
yeah,
it has to be away
in
from
a vehicle, unless you're taking public transportation. But then it's got to be in a locked box, literally locked up, separate from the ammunition.
Doesn't it just bring in more?
By the way,
it's very
I've
restrictive.
never owned a gun. I love shooting guns. Like that's one of my
fun.
favorite things to do.
Yeah, it's a fun thing.
But I'll tell you what shocked me when I was reading about the kid in the Parkland shooting, and then another one before that, and I didn't know this. Because they're always like, oh, how do you know when people are going to pop off?
Right.
Well, turns out a lot of people notice and
Yeah.
then go and tell the authorities, including the FBI, hey, this guy literally said he's going to go do this, and then they don't do shit. And so how you could have prevented it was the FBI doing their fucking job, or anybody doing their job.
Yeah, I
Much like a
believe
shoe
the
baller.
kid
If
was
somebody looked at
shooting-
us without us taking our shoes off, they're like, just look at their shoes and see if they have fuses. That's never going to. So it's crazy. Like the abdicating of responsibility on the government's end while at the same time grasping for extra power.
Right.
Like we're not responsible, but we want to be responsible for everything. It's wild.
They every time there's an incident, which of course, we got to preface by saying they're all tragedies and that we get it. I hate that people feel the need to have to justify a statement by prefacing that we understand how tragic every loss of life is. We get it. I hate having to fucking say that. But anytime there is a problem, they go for the thing that will affect the problem the least. Like taking guns away or making it more difficult for law-abiding citizens to buy guns isn't the issue. You have to, because that is part of our freedoms. The issue is, like you said, send the fucking FBI if there is it's like threatening the president. The Secret Service will visit you. And if you're threatening a school or something like that, have law enforcement visit, and maybe someone should assess the situation. I don't know what you do after that. I don't know if, taking guns away is a weird kind of vague thing. I don't know who gets to decide it, who gets to decide what's fucked up behavior enough to take someone's gun away. A vindictive girlfriend can do it then. I don't know what that solution is. But there has to be some way where when everyone knows this nut motherfucker is probably going to do something to maybe avoid that.
Well, I think they don't agree what the cause. Like nobody agrees what the cause of it is.
Yeah.
Like to me, what the story is with mass shootings is it's not really about it's about suicides. These are like for the most part they are suicides where American style. Where I'm going out big and everyone's coming with me because I don't want to go alone.
Shit.
Well, yeah,
So
and they try to put
they
this
gotta
thing
address
around
suicide.
it. Yeah,
I
they
mean,
try
that's
to
like 9/10 of it.
Yeah, they
'Cause
try to
that's what
put
they
it around
really
like it's a bunch of loser kids, and it's not. Like even when it started with like Dylan Klebold and stuff, these were fairly popular kids, intelligent kids that suffered from depression and insecurity. That you're right. That's at the helm of it, and people don't address that. It is
So
definitely
when they
a way
call
to kill
suicide
yourself.
selfish, it can be.
Yeah.
If you don't take anybody else with you, I'm going to go ahead and call that an unselfish suicide.
I agree.
Right,
yeah.
right. It's not much of a selfish act. Yeah, and a lot of people, I guess they think what you said, American style, is pretty interesting because
Because if you did in Japan or something, you wouldn't do that. You would go out in the woods and hang yourself where you wouldn't be a bother
and
to
you
your
kill
family.
yourself. But if you
like-
just kill yourself, then you just killed yourself and you're unimportant and you just no one knows about it. But if you take a bunch of people with you, now
And
years
that's the
later
second part,
you still
dude.
know their name.
Here's another solution. Stop telling us all about the people.
Yeah.
I don't know if this.
I think they've started to pull the reins back on that because when things happen like that, they've kind of stopped mentioning the name. There's no need to print the manifesto. Although I love reading a good manifesto.
I do.
They are interesting reading.
Did
And
you read
always right.
the fucking? I read the Unabomber manifesto.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so shocking how much shit he nails. This
Dude,
is
he
what's-
nails so much of what
Okay.
technology does and has
Right.
done to the humanity.
Yeah, it's hard when you're agreeing with the whole thing.
Yeah,
he
I'm
doesn't-
agreeing
dude,
with
he
the
doesn't get-
Unabomber.
He doesn't get to where explain why you killing these people helps this.
No.
Right.
Like that's not bridged.
No, that's the that's
But
the tough
it's-
part to get.
It's so like prescient. It so predicts so many things that it almost seems like he came back in time, like Terminator.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
certain people have to die to keep Skynet.
It's the only thing that would make sense because
I
he's
feel
got
like it's in the future.
this amazing take on technology and how bad it is for certain parts of the world and humanity. But then, like you said, his solution is to just kill these random people who have nothing to do with nothing. Some professors and whatnot. But so it really doesn't make sense unless, of course, he came back in time.
Well, in all the tapes you listen to where he was brainwashed, there's definitely that element to it where he was obviously a very intelligent guy who knew this, but they
It
also
was
did
that
crack him.
CIA fucking
Yeah.
LSD.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It had a lot
Absolutely
of ticking
crazy.
time bombs, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Really a great documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, really good.
On the Unabomber. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I saw that recently.
We have to let you go, sir,
Okay,
as
man.
we wrap up our program here. But Kurt, always a great time talking to you, man. Once
You too,
this
brother.
bullshit, I miss like going into the cellar to see
know.
Jimmy or do Chip and seeing you sitting there and saying hi, and just the vibe of being out is so fucking missed.
I know, isn't it? I
Yeah.
really.
It's
I didn't realize
crazy.
how much stand-up was holding my world together because I'm so disoriented. I don't know what day it is.
Dude, we just talked to Jimmy Norton about that, like how comics especially, like that's not just, hey, I have to keep honed, I have to keep my act.
No, it's my existence.
It's your fucking ritual. It's
Yeah.
doing spots and then, hanging out with people, getting new ideas because
I
you're
get-
talking
hey,
to
you know
fucking
what?
a tell or something.
Yeah.
It's and that's gone. It's fucked up.
I get why old people want to work at McDonald's. You know?
Just for the
To
conversation.
get out, yeah.
Yeah, just to get out of this fucking ass smell apartment.
Kurt, thanks so much, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, brother. Good seeing you again, man.
See you later.
Later. He goes, Kurt, fucking awesome, man. Yeah, Kurt's a good guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's because when you dive into talking to Kurt about something, man, he's all over the fucking place.
Yeah, he's very intelligent.
He'll go winding through all kinds of shit, go off on tangents. You gotta kind of, get in there.
I tried twice.
Oh, I know, it's fucking awesome.
Did you hear me cracking up when you were trying to talk?
Yeah,
Every-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, every
I just
time.
gave up.
It's so fucking.
I'm just, I might as well have just stayed upstairs.
Oh no.
It was like 8 times. You're like, and
I'm like, ah, fuck it.
It's like, I don't think the delay was helping either because
No.
he did have a delay on his end. But yeah, that's anybody that's done a show with Kurt or anything is that part of it. You're really. I had such a great training ground with O&A, like to sit there on that show with all those comics in there, Patrice and Voss and Bobby and Colin. and think you're getting a fucking word in unless you barrel right through somebody. It's a great training ground for talking to people.
Oh no, I know plenty of comics, and really the difference is if you guys want to go ahead, I don't give a fuck. People seem to not realize that about me. I enjoy a good conversation.
Oh,
I could listen to one. I don't give a
love it.
shit.
I'll
Doesn't fucking matter.